Imagine holding a book that has defeated every expert who has tried to read it for over 6 centuries. The Voynich manuscript isn't just difficult to decipher, it's considered genuinely impossible. Rediscovered in 1912 by rare book dealer Wilfrid Voynich in an Italian Jesuit college, this 240-page vellum codex immediately captivated and frustrated the world's leading cryptographers, linguists, and historians. What makes it so uniquely baffling isn't just the unrecognizable script flowing across every page in confident, practiced penmanship. It's the illustrations that accompany this alien text, botanical drawings of plants that don't match any known species on Earth, astronomical charts depicting celestial configurations that don't correspond to our night sky, and bizarre diagrams showing nude female figures bathing in interconnected pools of green liquid, connected by an elaborate system of tubes and vessels. Every attempt to crack this cipher has ended in failure or controversy. Professional cryptographers who broke enemy codes during World War II tried and failed. Linguists who speak dozens of languages cannot identify even a single word. Computer algorithms designed to detect patterns in any written language produce contradictory nonsense. The manuscript sits at the intersection of multiple academic disciplines, and experts in each field fundamentally disagree on what they're even looking at. Is this a sophisticated cipher protecting medieval secrets? An unknown language from a lost civilization? An artificial constructed language created by a philosophical society? Or is it the most elaborate hoax in literary history, designed specifically to be unsolvable? For decades, skeptics argued the Voynich manuscript might be a modern forgery, perhaps created by Voynich himself to fetch a higher price from wealthy collectors. That theory collapsed in 2009 when researchers at the University of Arizona conducted radiocarbon dating on the vellum. The results were definitive. The animal skin used to create the pages was processed between 1404 and 1438 CE, firmly placing the physical manuscript in the early 15th century. This wasn't just any dating. Multiple samples were tested with consistent results, and the statistical confidence level was exceptionally high. But physical age doesn't automatically mean the content is authentic. The ink could have been applied to old blank pages centuries later. However, paleographic analysis, the study of historical handwriting, reveals something fascinating. The script flows naturally across the pages, with the confidence of someone writing in their native language or familiar code. There are corrections, crossed-out words, and margin notes, exactly what you'd expect from an author composing original work, not a forger painstakingly drawing meaningless symbols. The ink itself has been analyzed spectroscopically, and its composition matches medieval formulations, not modern reproductions. The manuscript's ownership history adds another layer of authenticity. Historical records document that Emperor Rudolf II of Bohemia purchased this volume in the late 16th century for 600 ducats, an enormous sum equivalent to roughly $50,000 today. Rudolf was a passionate collector of rare and mysterious books, but he wasn't a fool. He employed court scholars and scientists who examined acquisitions before he purchased them. The manuscript then passed through documented hands. Johannes Marcus Marci, who sent it to the renowned Jesuit scholar Athanasius Kircher in Rome, where it eventually disappeared into the Jesuit archives until Voynich's rediscovery. This provenance chain makes a forgery hypothesis increasingly implausible. Here's where things get truly strange. When linguists analyze the Voynich script statistically, it behaves like natural language. The letter frequency distribution follows Zipf's law, which describes how often words appear in genuine human languages. Common words appear very frequently, while rare words appear seldom, creating a characteristic pattern that the Voynich text matches almost perfectly. The script also shows consistent word spacing, paragraph structure, and even what appears to be a table of contents. But when cryptographers apply standard code-breaking techniques, nothing works. Simple substitution ciphers, where each symbol represents a letter, don't produce readable text in any known language. Polyalphabetic ciphers, where symbols change meaning based on position, also fail. Even advanced computational approaches that can break sophisticated modern encryption hit a wall. The text seems to have linguistic structure without actual linguistic content. Recent artificial intelligence experiments have produced controversial results. In 2016, researchers claimed an AI identified the underlying language as Hebrew, producing partial translations about medicinal herbs. Other teams claimed it was Arabic, Latin, or even an unknown Romance language. The problem? None of these translations produce coherent, historically consistent text. They generate word salads that sound vaguely medieval, but contain anachronisms and nonsensical phrases. The AI is essentially finding patterns that might not actually exist, similar to seeing faces in clouds. The hoax theory remains compelling to many scholars. Consider the economics. A skilled medieval scribe could create an elaborate, mysterious book, specifically designed to be purchased by wealthy collectors obsessed with secret knowledge. Emperor Rudolph II was exactly such a collector. He would pay premium prices for alchemical texts, coded manuscripts, and mysterious artifacts. A clever forger could manufacture an unsolvable cipher specifically to increase its value. The more mysterious and undecipherable, the more valuable it becomes. The botanical illustrations could be deliberate fantasies, combining features of multiple real plants to create impossible specimens that suggest hidden knowledge without actually depicting anything real. But here's the counter-argument that keeps researchers engaged. Some of those botanical illustrations might actually be real plants, just poorly drawn or stylized beyond easy recognition. Several researchers have identified possible matches with New World species, sunflowers, tobacco, possibly even cacao, plants that Europeans supposedly didn't encounter until Columbus's voyages in 1492. If these identifications are correct, the Voynich manuscript would contain evidence of pre-Columbian contact with the Americas, making it one of history's most important documents. However, these botanical identifications remain highly controversial, with other experts arguing the supposed matches are coincidental or wishful thinking. The level of detail in the illustration suggests genuine intent to communicate. The astronomical charts, while not matching standard European models, show consistent internal logic. The pharmaceutical sections depict preparation methods that align with medieval medical practices. Would a hoaxer invest such meticulous effort into illustrations if the text was meaningless gibberish? In 2026, the Voynich manuscript remains unsolved, but the quest continues with new vigor. Online communities of citizen scientists are applying machine learning algorithms, crowdsourcing translation attempts, and bringing fresh perspectives from fields ranging from musicology to computer science. The manuscript has been fully digitized and made available online, allowing anyone with curiosity and analytical skills to try their hand at decipherment. Why does this mystery endure? Perhaps because it represents something fundamental about human nature. We're pattern-seeking creatures who desperately want to believe that all codes can be broken, all languages can be learned, and all mysteries can be solved. The Voynich manuscript challenges that assumption. It sits in Yale University's Voynich Rare Book Library, physically accessible yet intellectually impenetrable, a testament to the possibility that some secrets might be designed to remain secret forever. Maybe the manuscript was never meant to be read by outsiders. Maybe it's a private artificial language known only to its creator, who died without teaching anyone else. Maybe it's an elaborate artistic expression of mystery itself, created by someone who understood that humans value enigmas more than answers. Or maybe, just maybe, the key to decipherment is still waiting to be discovered, hidden in some forgotten medieval text, or waiting for the right analytical approach that hasn't been invented yet. Until that day comes, if it ever does, the Voynich manuscript remains the world's most fascinating unreadable book, silently mocking every expert who tries to unlock its secrets.